So by now, we all know the story, right? Horizon releases a new plane. It gets rave reviews from the army of reviewers that Horizon sends it to. Customers yawn and roll their eyes. They've heard the same song and dance before. Almost every 2 weeks, actually. And quite often, there are some big problems that somehow didn't get called out in those earlier reviews. So with regards to the baby Habu, our honest opinion on it had us wanting to give a little gift to Horizon Hobby.
Congratulations, Horizon Hobby! You are so proud of you! The baby Habu is impressive!
Congratulations and celebration when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations.
Mwah!
That's right, we really do love this little jet. It's fast enough, tough as nails, and has no real bad habits. There were some complaints we had about the baby Habu though. To start, ours arrived with one of the main gear missing out of the box. The good news is though, you don't actually need gear to take this jet off from a runway.
No way!
To be fair though, it was easy enough to snag a spare one and finish the assembly. While a full set of landing gear is fun, you can fly with them removed for a cleaner look too. That being said, I may be athletically impaired, but holy mother of
Landed!
launching this jet by hand is no easy feat, unless you pretend it's a discus glider. Seriously though, this is our preferred way of launching it. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Aside from missing the gear out of the box, Horizon really knocked it out of the park with this one. This is a beginner jet that really is a beginner jet, and not the same way a heavy, fast, smaller F-15 might be labeled as such just because it has safe. The baby Habu provides an EDF flying experience without any wing dropping bites, and that's rare to come by. Now, you're probably wondering why it doesn't drop a wing, and we're happy to answer. First, being nose-heavy makes for a docile stall. The baby Habu is nose-heavy by design, and don't worry, Horizon won't allow you to change this without committing the unspeakable sin of attaching a lead weight to the tail. Additionally, for the nerds out there, the dog tooth seen here on the leading edge of the wing helps airflow attachment during high angles of attack. It creates a vortex on the upper surface of the wing that acts like a fence, reducing span-wise flow towards the tip. In layman's terms, you rarely ever get a violent wing-dropping stall, followed by an impact into Mother Earth, especially when paired with a nose-heavy center of gravity, aka CG. You'll also maintain some level of aileron effectiveness at high angles of attack thanks to the dogtooth. To further simplify our layman's terms, in case you're an extra type of special, if you crash this jet from stalling it, you're talented as hell. Much like many of a more pale complexion, the baby Habu suffers from a slight inability to move its tail feathers. Look, we get it's designed for a beginner, but we do wish the jet came with more than an eyelash worth of elevator travel out of the box. You legitimately can't even properly flare it with the stock travel. We opted to move ours as close in as we could on the control horn and far out as we could on the servo arm, but really felt this still lacked what we desired out of the elevator. It did fix the flare issue though. Maybe not getting even more throw was for the best considering our background.
Oh! Oh my god.
It's fair to assume Horizon tried to make this jet appeal to the absolute worst pilots, which is probably the same reason we love it. There's no flaps, the quality of the manual is A+, and it takes all of maybe 30 minutes to assemble. There's no glue required unless you think it smells good open next to you while building. The baby Habu comes with fixed gear, which pops right into the main gear plates, and the nose gear slides into the fuse and requires attaching the control arm and then screwing it onto the top of the nose gear. Point blank, it's hard to fuck up with this jet. Let's prove this concept. Here's some stall testing. We actually couldn't get this jet to bite us with a wing drop no matter how hard we tried, and for that reason, we really highly recommend it as someone's first jet. This is truly something a 3D pilot could handle without any extra practice. There's no stress. While we're on that topic, this is a jet everyone who isn't Jace can grow into. It'll do outside snaps, slow rolls, 4 points, pushovers, as we like to incorrectly call them, rolling flights, sort of, rolling loops, sort of, high alpha, kinda, but it can do inverted high alpha, although if you buy the baby Habu for that, dude, go get a better paying job because this jet ain't meant for that. We often complain about SAFE and AS3X being shoved down our throats. Insert innuendo here. But if we're being honest, on this bird, it makes sense when used effectively. We were sure to test SAFE on this plane, and we were impressed.
Wow, next generation technology.
We stand by its labeling of being a beginner-friendly jet because it is. You can press a button and get out of any bad situation depending on your altitude. Remember to get rid of safe as soon as you are comfortable with the jet though, in order to build confidence as a pilot. When it comes to flight times, it's a jet. A 3.5-minute throttle timer is pretty good for battery life with our Superior 3S 2200 pack, unless you compare it to prop planes. Much like prop planes though, it's stable during landings, especially with the stock nose-heavy CG. Like we said, we would have loved to be able to adjust the CG, but after all, it's probably best that it stays nosy like Karen for beginners. We were impressed by its ability to handle shortcut grass, but if we're being honest, just stick to a hard surface runway with this one when it's on its gear. If you opt to take the gear out because you have no idea how to properly land, first off, there's a support group called our Discord, but brushing that aside, you shouldn't be afraid of belly landings on grass. It really does great. If you're really afraid of hand launches, first off, you need serious help, but yes, it'll do it if you were wondering. You get this jet ready to land, you're on short final, and a group of bees attacks you and you panic and yank up on the elevator to max deflection. Guess what? The baby Habu won't bite or sting you. That should say more than anything else we've said in this review to prove this truly is a jet for a beginner. And maybe even more so, this is one of the few aircraft we've reviewed that we haven't ripped the gear off of. If you do, tag us on Instagram with the video and we'll send you a free sticker. Generally, when Horizon markets something towards new pilots, we're suspicious. There's so many aircraft they stamp as beginner friendly once they slap a safe receiver into them that, frankly put, just aren't. This one, while it shouldn't be your first aircraft, really is a beginner friendly first jet. And for that, we can't help but be impressed with the work they put into it. In that vein, they even commented that we could see that process in one of our other videos, but they haven't responded to our follow-up email yet. Oh well, congratulations on the baby Habu anyway. Happy landings, bounce one on for us, and we'll catch you next week with a new upload.
Jubilation, I want the world to know I'm happy.